All right. All right, let's go ahead and start with our shoulders and doing our angel wings. So we're gonna lift the shoulders up, lift the elbows out, lift the wrist all the way up, and drop it down. Now take a nice deep breath in as we go up when we do this. And drop that down. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, and drop that down. Really reach up out of the rib cage, stretch up to the roof, and drop that down. Deep, deep breaths. Let's do 2 more of these. Good. Now from here, let's go ahead and reach into the key of the universe position. And we're just going to lower the head all the way down and stretch that neck down to the ground. Then we're going to lean all the way back, look up to the roof and sink down into that neck. Coming forward, we're going to breathe out through the mouth. And coming up, breathing in through the nose. Now let's just work on that for a moment. Now as we work on this, I'm going to tell you ladies why we keep our arms in the key of the universe position while we do these exercises. We're going to release any negative energies that we're carrying in the neck and unwind them. And as we unwind them, we're going to take what's called the lymph node, which is underneath the armpit, and we're just going to vortex all that negative blood and then press it out. So it's important that we keep our arms up in this position while we're doing this. Let's do a few more of these. Now from here, we're going to take the ear and we're going to push it over to the left and then to the right. Just moving the neck on a different axis right now. And taking it and just pushing it left and right. Not tilting the head, just really pushing that neck muscle to the left and to the right. Getting nice deep breaths in through the nose when we do this. Oxygen is 1/3 of this class, so if you do these deep, deep breaths during this movement, it's gonna break up so much faster. Good. Now we're gonna go forward and back with this. So still keeping the arms up, we're just going forward and back. Forward and back. Good job. Really emphasizing on that forward and back. Getting nice deep breaths. All right, now we're gonna put this motion together. So we're gonna take the head and go forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. Now just work on that for a minute. Really get into that motion and press that neck so we get that gunk out of the neck. Sure, we're getting good oxygen in. Now, when we feel comfortable, we're gonna actually loosen all this up by rotating this now. So we're gonna take the head and push the neck into a circle now. Rotating the neck around. Still getting good breath. And now let's go the opposite way. Just pushing that neck around into a circle. And since a few of us are new to this, I'm gonna just slow this down, and if we need to just do the motion, it's forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. And when we feel comfortable with this motion, let's soften it now into a circle. Good job. All right, now from here, we're gonna take the wrists and just softly unwind them. And as we unwind them, we're gonna bring the arms down slowly. This is where we start getting rid of all that bad blood, all the way below the root chakra, then come all the way back up with the arms. And now unwind. Still getting good breaths in while we're going down and up. Just some nice soft winds at the wrist. This is one of the best ways that you can clean your blood, aside from hanging upside down, because that's how we clean the blood. We have to go upside down and then unwind everything while we're doing that. Let's do a few more of these unwinding motions. Now from here, let's put the hands on the hips, and we're gonna take the shoulder blades, push them back, and try to push the elbows together. So we're just pushing as far back as we can, pressing out, nice deep breath. Breathe that oxygen in through the nose. Now let's release it through the mouth and pull the shoulders forward, keeping the hands still on the hips and just pushing the elbows forward as much as we can. Going up into that scapula, push up on the back of the shoulders as we breathe out. Deep breath in, coming back. And release. Deep breath in through the nose. Pull those shoulders back. And release. Let's do 2 more of these. Deep breath in. And release. Last one. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Now keeping the hands on the hips, we're just going to take the shoulders now and elevate it. So just taking one shoulder up and then one shoulder down. Just dropping up and down. Called elevating the scapula. Belly dance also is one of the best forms to heal the body. So all the organs, when we do our unwinding, they heal when we unwind. When we do our tapping, they heal. When we do our nice little shivvies, vibration is the best for everything for cellular count. So note that we're healing the body, doing all this stuff. And of course, that oxygen. Good. Now we're going to put these motions together. So how we do that, we're going to lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder, lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. So lift, side, drop, side. Lift, side, drop, side. Let's just work on that for a moment. Good. Now when we feel comfortable with this, we can actually slow this down and make it into a softer movement now by just pushing around now into a circle in the chest. Staying still in the rest of the body, we're just moving that chest around, making that good orbitrational energy motion. When you're getting deep, deep breath, you can feel your breath open up all the areas in your body. So if you're not feeling that, breathe a little bit deeper. You can even hear yourself by just going, and then of course when you breathe out, really releasing all of that. Now let's go ahead and slow this down, and we're going to move it into the opposite way. So if we can't roll right into a circle, we're going to lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder, lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. So let's just practice that for a few. That way we can get comfortable with this motion. And now when you're comfortable doing this, let's drop this now into a circle. Should be feeling this break up in the clavicle bone, that bone around the throat.
Yeah.
Feeling it in the shoulders, and in that diaphragm. We have any singers in the house? This is an amazing exercise to do to get your diaphragm warmed up. So all the air and oxygen in your lower belly actually spirals up and hits those cords the way they need to. Good job. All right, now from here, we're gonna work on our snake arms. So we're gonna take one shoulder up, one elbow, one wrist, flip that up and drop it down. Other side, shoulder, elbow, wrist, flip that up and drop it down. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, flip and drop that down. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, flick and drop that down. Now as one shoulder, elbow, wrist comes up, as that starts to come down, the other shoulder, elbow, wrist is going to come up. So we're now going to work with both of the arms, and we're going to now do big snake arms. All the way up to where now, when we were doing our angel wings, you're going to feel the same thing stretching up out of the rib cage, except you're really pushing that shoulder, elbow, wrist. So remember that when you're going up and dropping. This is also a balancing exercise. So if we ever are feeling dizzy or off and we need a little balance check, this is a beautiful exercise to work on, and this will help shift the liquid in your equilibrium to help create balance in the body. Now, if we feel comfortable walking forward with this, let's go ahead and start doing that. So let's take a nice step forward and just nice little steps moving forward. And when we can't go forward anymore, we're going to go back, but we're going to go short and fast now. So short and fast. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. So just get in the practice of getting out of the hurt and into the breath. If it hurts, you want to be like, okay? So now let's slow this down, back to big snake arms. If we do this exercise for just 3 minutes a day, this is going to cut our arms really nice and build those beautiful arms up, those biceps and triceps. So just stick with it. Breathe it out. Good. Now when we're ready, let's go ahead and walk forward with this. And when you can't go forward anymore, let's go short and fast, walking it back. Now let's slow this down for the last time, making big snake arms. Nice deep breath. We're about 1 minute left to go, so stick with this. Just get out of the hurt and into the breath. Now when you're ready, let's go ahead and take those nice little steps forward. This is a very powerful goddess movement when we get this down. And when we can't go forward anymore, let's go back, short and fast, short and fast. We got about 20 seconds left, so let's just stand in place and feel that burn. Breathe. Ten more seconds. Push it out, girls. You got this. For 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Feel that burn. All right. Now let's make those arms completely limp right now. And we're going to go ahead and now just swing them back and forth and tap that belly. This movement right here is going to tap on those livers, or the liver, tap on the kidneys, and really wake those organs up in that area, as well as stretching out our arms that we just worked out. Good. All right, we're going to do one more balancing exercise. So let's go ahead and take our arms and place them above the head. And what we're doing is just doing a nice circle on both sides. So we're going to take the arms and we're going to drop them down and bring them all the way back around. Okay, so from the side, it looks like this. We're dropping all the way down, circling back up, and bringing them top, okay? So bring those arms down, circle it around, and come back up. Let's just work on this for a few moments. Still getting those nice deep breaths in. Good job. Couple more on this side. And now we're going to go to the opposite way. So now take the arms, just dropping them down and around. So just down all the way into a circle and back around. So let's just work on that now on the other side. Since we are 95% liquid, it's all about working with our waters and the motion in that ocean. So it's important to be balanced and make sure that we have the waters in our body in the right spaces. So this is a beautiful exercise to do that. Good job. Couple more of these. All right, now let's go ahead and come back to center. Let's get water too if we need water. Whew, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and work on the hips right now. So we're gonna work on a figure eight. How we do that is we take the right hip and we push the hip forward. Then we diagonally are gonna pull it back. Left hip then goes forward, diagonally pull that back. Right hip forward, diagonally pull back. Left hip forward, diagonally pull back. So forward and slide. Forward and slide. Forward and slide. And slide. This is going to stretch those hips out so much once we get this motion down and we can start circling it. So that's what we're gonna do on the next one around. We're gonna soften it now and we're gonna start doing circles. So all the way in, circle it all the way in. You can look down and at your hips and see that figure eight happening. You need to take the hands and check it out. Look at it. Figure eight it around. You can grab that energy and pull it. Grab and pull. That way you actually know the motion is happening. Follow the motion with your hips. Follow that energy with your hands. And always make sure to breathe. Keep this motion going, really stretching those hips out. And now we're going to reverse this. So how we do that is we take the left hip, we push it back. Then the right hip slides forward. Right hip goes back, then we slide that forward. Left hip back, slide forward. Right hip back, slide forward. We're just standing in place, but just taking those hips, sliding them back, all the way forward, back and around. Make sure we get that good diagonal cut, because that's how we cross that figure eight. So now let's try and slow that down just a little bit, and let's push those hips out and around, follow it all the way out and around. Push those hips around. Really feel this now. Push that around. Grab those arms now. Feel that energy. Push that around. Hips should be feeling really good now. Nice and loose. Same with that lower back. Start to stretch that out. Good job. Keep this motion going just for a few more. Taking nice deep breaths in. All right, now let's slow this down. And what we're gonna do is take the right foot and put it forward. And like we're taking a seat, we're gonna sit down on that. Now how this motion goes is we're gonna work right here with the hip. Take the hip, pull the hip up, bring it up around, open the leg up as we squat down, and then close the leg. So hip up, open the leg, squat, and bring it down. Hip up, open the leg, squat, and come down. This is gonna give you really nice buns and start working on the sides of those IT bands, stretching those out, and getting those hip flexors open. Nice deep breaths doing this. Really feel that hip lift up, pull it over, drop it down, and close. These are nice soft movements, but you girls will really feel the difference tomorrow. Might be a little sore the first time, but you'll see the tightness of what happens in just one workout. They're very deep motion stretching if you do this right. And I'm telling you, if you girls just breathe, that oxygen is something else. From here, we're gonna take the hip and we're gonna bring it inward now. So drop the hip down and now open the leg. So hip goes up, in, drop down, open up. So hip up, pull it in, drop it down, open up. Hip up, down, and open. And breathe. Should be feeling this squat in the other leg by now, just pumping that up and down while we're just moving this other leg around. Let's do 2 more of these. And now let's go ahead and shift to the other side. So left foot forward now, and like we're taking a seat. And then we take the hip, we pull the hip up, pull it out, open the leg, and squat while we close. Hip up, over, drop, close. Up, out, drop, close. Good, a couple more of these on this side, going this direction. And now we're gonna reverse this by bringing the hip up, dropping it down, opening the leg up. Hip up, drop it down, open the leg. Hip up, Drop down and open. Drop down and open. Really pull that hip up out of the socket, turn it, drop it, and then turn. Up, drop, and open. Let's do a few more of these. Good job. All right. Now from here, I need some more. Hold on. All right, so from here, we're gonna lift up out of the hip, and we're gonna push the hip to the side and then sit down into it. So getting a nice stretch in the lower side of this hip. Then over to the other side, lift the hip up, push the hip out, sit down on it. Should really feel that. Deep breath in. And up, over, sit. Get that nice deep oxygen in there so we can get those hips stretched out. All right, let's go ahead and come back to center. And we're gonna work on our shibby right now. So how we do that is we're just taking one hip and we're standing straight, our feet flat on the ground. Arms can be out and just the hips are going to go forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. So that's the motion that we're doing, just pushing those hips forward and back. Now let's go ahead and let's soften this now by just going back and forth and feeling that fluid in between the hips. Feeling that fluid in the lower back. This is our cerebral fluid. We can really get in touch with the Kundalini energy as it rises, as we start to just move this back and forth. Nice soft movements. Now the hands can stay right here. The hands can come up here. The hands can go out here. The hands can come up here. If you want to put your hands on your higher hips just to go back and forth, that's fine. But you want to make sure that this energy is focused right here. So breathe during this. Now, just like the arm movements, we're going to do this for 3 minutes. Okay, so get your comfortable space. And when we're feeling it, we're going to move this a little bit faster. And now we're going to shimmy. Push that back and forth. Shimmy that back and forth. Just nice, like we're running in place, back and forth. Feel that. That's how we're gonna wake that Kundalini up. Woo, yeah. Breathe, good oxygen. Now, if we don't want to go that fast, just slow it down. Nice medium pace is always good. And if we can't go that fast, just slow it down. Just back and forth and focus on this. Otherwise, get yourself to a nice pace. Now, if we're comfortable moving around with this, let's start walking forward with this. Taking nice steps forward. And taking nice steps back. Making sure that this part is staying fluid. And forward again. And back. Good job. Now let's try to walk in a circle with this. So just walking, and now just taking steps to the left, right, forward, and back. Still getting great oxygen in through those lungs, and now let's go the opposite direction in a circle. Really feeling that burn, girls. We got about 1 minute left, so however you girls want to do this, really get into that shape and give it all you got. Keep that going, girls. We're almost done. About 30 more seconds. All right, 10 more seconds. Really push it. Give it all you got. Back and forth. Woo! All right, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! That was some good shooting, girls. Grab some water after that one. Woo! Deserve it.
This is like, today's like wiggle, like move energy class. And it was so good. Hey girls, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much. Let's chat soon.
You were awesome. Till next time, girlie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I had so much fun. I definitely want more.
Till next time.
Bye, Shelby.
All right, so from here, we're going to continue into the hips. So we're going to lift the hip up, take a step out, drop the hip down, slide that foot in. Lift the hip up, take a step out, drop the hip down, slide that hip in. Lift up, step out, drop down, slide out. Lift up, step out, drop down, slide out. Keep this motion going while we stretch that out. Now when we feel comfortable with this, let's move this into half moons. Pushing those hips up, down, and around. Good job. Now let's move this over to the other side. We're gonna lift that hip up, take a step out, drop that hip down, slide that leg in. Hip goes up, take a step out, drop that down, slide that in. Hip up, step, drop, slide. Good job. All right, now from here, we're gonna move it over to the other side, and we are now going to go the opposite way. So we take the hip up, we take a step out, we drop it down, we slide it in. Hip up, step out, drop down, slide in. Hip up, step out, drop down, slide in. Now let's go the opposite way. So take a step out, hip up, take that hip in, now drop it down. Step out, hip up, pull that in, drop it down. Take a step out, hip up, step in, drop down. Step out, hip up, pull it in, drop it down. Now when we have that motion down, we're going to go ahead and soften it by circling the hips up and dropping. Circle it up and drop. Up and drop. Circle up and drop. Still getting nice good oxygen in those lungs and pushing the oxygen to the areas that are all gunky. All right, now to the other side. We take a step out. We lift that hip up. We pull that hip in, drop it down. Step out, hip up, pull it in, drop it down. Step out, hip up, in, and drop. Let's work on that just for a second so you get that motion down. And when we're comfortable, we're going to soften this now by bringing those hips down, up, and down. Down, around, and down. Just circling that. Good job. Now we're going to do inversions back and forth. So we're going to go up, out, in, and drop. Up, out, in, and drop. So just back and forth with this. Now, opposite way, we're going to go out and out now. Up and out. The camel out. Up and over. Bring it out. And breathe.
I'm trying to tune in because the video stopped, so I'm just listening to the verbals right now.
Oh, it stopped?
Yeah, I can't see you.
Yeah. All right. So from here, we were working on the hips right now, doing these back and forth, and then we brought the hips up this way. And so now we're going to get into some of the side twists. So the right foot goes forward, right arm forward, left arm up. Now we're just taking the hip and turning it all the way in and dropping it back. So we're just twisting the foot and bringing it down. Twist and down. Twist and down. Twist. Good. Keep this going. Let's go a little bit faster. Now let's take this around the room. So step and twist. Push the hip and just twist yourself now into a circle. Good job. Now the other side. Left foot forward, left arm forward, left arm up. Now we're just taking the hip, twisting, and dropping. twisting and dropping. Just that foot. The feet should really be on the ground, and just twist and drop. Twist and drop. Good, now let's bring this up to speed. Now when you're ready for this, let's take this around the room. So step and twist. Step and twist. Now just stay in place. And other side forward. Other side. Other side. Finish that out. Just back and forth. Good job on those hips. All right, from here we're going to drop down into the knees now, and we're just softly going to roll these knees into a circle. Taking nice deep breaths in during this. The senseis do this movement for 20 minutes a day to strengthen their knees. Note that we have to hold this body up with them, so we gotta make sure these knees are good. And now let's take those knees and roll them to the opposite way. Good job on those knee rolls. Now from here, we're just gonna take a nice big step out with those, and just one of the knees, we're gonna rotate that around. Rotating those one knee around into a circle. Now we're going to stop that and move it to the opposite way. So if you're rolling it out, roll it in. You're going in, go out. Good job. Couple more rolls on this side. Now the opposite leg, let's roll that out. Good job on those rolls. Couple more rolling that out. And now let's stop that and roll it inward. Good job on those rolls. Now let's walk those feet in. And just last time with the knees together, let's rotate those around again. Still getting that good oxygen in. And now opposite way, roll those knees around. Good job. All right, let's roll this up now. And now in our ankles, we're going to take a nice step forward, press down on the ball underneath that toe, and stretch that foot out. Just pressing down on that foot. Now from here, let's lean off of that ankle, and now let's rotate that ankle around into a circle. Really focusing, pushing oxygen down to that ankle. Good job. Now from here, let's just stop that and rotate it the opposite direction. All right. Now from here, let's go ahead and move to the opposite foot. Left leg forward, up underneath the toes, and now just push down on those toes, stretching that foot out. Now let's lean back off of that foot, and now we're going to rotate that foot into a circle. Really getting that ankle nice and stretched out. Couple more rolls going that way. And now let's stop that and roll it now to the other side. Inward if we were going out. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and take the right foot and take a nice step forward. Let's take the right arm and place it up, and left hand gets tucked down next to our hip. What we're doing is taking a nice lean lunge forward, coming back, and then lifting up on the back. So we're taking a lean forward, and then lift up on that calf. So lean and lift. Here we're giving, and here we're receiving. So this is the goddess gift. And then we receive our gifts from heaven, and we gift it to the world. So we receive, and then we gift. Still getting nice deep breaths. This is also another really beautiful movement that's going to give us nice good buns and nice calves, because our lunging that we're doing and the lifting that we're doing in the calf. All right, let's do a few more of these. Good job. Now let's move this to the other side. Left foot forward, left arm goes up, right hand gets tucked down. Now we are just leaning and lifting, lunging and lifting. Nice deep breaths while we do this. Remember, we are goddesses, so we gift to the world, and we receive our energy from the heavens to gift to the world. Breathe that in, feel it, and gift it. Let's do a few more of these gifts and receives. Good job. Now from here, I want to do a little bit of free flow and just kind of go with some of the movements that we just picked up from this class. So if you want to follow along with me, go ahead. If not, feel yourself in what you're going to be doing, okay? So I'm going to start with the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, and dropping those down. Throw some hips in there. Yeah, snake arms. Now sides, going up and in. Those hips that we're dropping. The shimmy. Ride that shimmy. Woo! Okay. Shoulders, that chest, that hip, and then wind it back up.
Like that. Wow. Definitely feel it all over.
Nice, that figure 8. Now go outward with that figure 8. Shoulders. Just those shoulders back and forth. Take it up to speed. Maybe that chest. Forward with it. And back. Forward. And back. To the side. And center. The other side. And center. All right, from here, let's go ahead, take some nice deep breaths in. And we are going to let that go. Deep breath in. And out. Now let's take a nice deep breath up. Grab the energy of the universe and pull that down into the heart chakra. Feeling that energy and releasing that as we come up all the way around, grabbing that earth energy and pulling it now up into the heart chakra. Bringing that down all the way up and around. Reach up, grab that. Breathe it in and out. Pull that energy up and out. Let's do 2 more of these. Good. Now from here, let's reach all that energy forward, pushing that out. Come back and give yourself a nice hug. Unwinding all that grand energy, spreading it to the world. Loving yourself and spreading that to the world. This world needs a hug, so hug yourself and send it to the world. Now from here, let's just go ahead and unwind. Unwind those hips. Now let's align that chest. Move that chest around. Now, opposite way, roll that chest around. Roll that chest. Now let's go ahead and do some neck rotation, dropping that chin, taking that ear all the way over, looking back up to the sky, pushing that ear, trying to get that down to the shoulder, lifting up to the sky. And now let's roll this to the opposite side. Ooh, yeah. All right, really feel that unwinding happen. Wind that into a circle. And the opposite way. Get some nice deep breaths in. And remember that we are goddesses. And when we awaken the goddess inside, magical things happen. So bring your energy to this world with grace and love and gift it to everyone. Thank you so much for joining Kundalini today. Woo! I hope everybody enjoys.
Beautiful. My body